All right, guys, I wanted to talk about programming. Okay, the program, what you've all wanted. That's what you're on here for, to a certain extent, is to do extra stuff either outside of class, or maybe this is your full programming. You're using the compete track or the everyday track, and you're doing everything on there. Whatever program you're on, this is going to help you understand how to use it and how to prioritize your training in particular. So, the way I've set this up, guys, is I have multiple different tracks or multiple different programs, and everybody is on one of those programs, one or more of those programs, depending on your goals. Okay. Now, one thing I would say is you have access to all of those programs. Let me know if your goals have slightly shifted and we can work something out where I can get you access to those programs. You have no limit to how many programs you can be on, because I just want to help you fulfill the goals that you set out in front of you. So, that being said, with your programming, you may have a week of programming and you might have upwards of 8+ sessions to choose from. Okay. Now, what I would say is, first of all, prioritize based on the goal that you have set before you. I program in 5-week blocks, which means that every 5 weeks there'll be a slight refresh to some of the progressions that we're working on. So for the skills program, for example, at the moment we're working on toes to bar, muscle ups, and handstands. So getting upside down in general, or an overhead stability. In 5 weeks, or after the 5-week block, we'll change those up a wee bit. And that's just to keep things fresh, to keep you working on different things, but also it helps you know if you're improving, because there'll be a kind of test at the end of each one. So how do we figure out what to do and when to do it? So if you're using the everyday track or the compete track, that's pretty straightforward. You just do everything that's laid out in the program. But if you're using a track that's supplemental to class programming, so if you're a member of Boundary, for example, and you're doing the Boundary classes, a good way to think of this is think of the amount of output within the session and within the class in comparison to the output that will be in the extras that you're going to be doing for that day. So a good example is if we're doing a heavy day in Boundary or in class, it's probably not a great idea to do another heavy lift as part of your extras on that day. But obviously, life is life. Sometimes we just have to get it in on that day. If that's the case, that's fine. We just need to remember how to maximize our energy. So if you do have the luxury of being able to say, right, I've got heavy back squats to do on my extras, I've got some skill work to do, and I've got some engine work to do. Happy days. We can play about with that. So if you go to Boundary on a Thursday, it's typically a longer aerobic day. I wouldn't do your engine work, your extras engine work on that same day, because that's just overkill. All right. That would maybe be a good day to do your heavy day on. All right. Or the skills day, for that matter. If you're coming in on a heavy day in Boundary, probably not a good idea to do your heavy extras. If you've got a short and sharp piece to do in your extras, probably not a good idea if that's something that you did that's in class. So you see where this is going. We're trying to pair things up with the extras, pair things up with the class, so that you're able to manage your energy, manage your time, and prioritize effectively so that you can meet your goals. Okay. If you have any questions about that stuff, guys, please reach out, because that has been a bit of a trend so far. People have been asking me about that stuff and how do I prioritize, what do I do, out of all of these sessions. And they're very valid questions, and I want to be able to help you with that. So Last thing on that, whatever your goal is and whatever your extras are, whatever extra you choose to do during the week, say for example it's a back squat, do the back squats for all 5 weeks. Don't change halfway through, because that's where we're going to just lose that progression and lose that momentum of that movement. So please, whichever extras you choose, see that through to the end of the 5 week block, and then at that stage think about changing them over. I'm going to end this here now, guys, and if you have any other questions, reach out. Cheers.